I had the absolute pleasure sitting down with millennial icon Hilary Duff.
My heart's starting to beat a little fast.
She catapulted to fame as a teenager, starring in Lizzie McGuire.
I am in the middle of a fashion meltdown.
Then she just casually launched a pop music career. It was there, Hilary said, she found her identity outside of Lizzie. And then a lot of life happened. She became a mom. And after a decade-long break, well, Hilary decided she had to get back to the music.
She looks like all of your girls, but blonder. A little like me, just younger. But she loves when she hears you say you're so mature for your age, baby.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I saw you bopping a little bit to mature. That's good. You just played your first show in over 10 years the other night in London. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk all about that, but I want you to just take me back to the moment right before you got on stage to start playing this new music. What was that feeling like? What were you thinking? Like, does Hilary Duff get nerves and butterflies?
This is so sweet. You're going to be like, what? Okay, so I didn't have anything planned all day of show because I didn't know how it was going to be. Like, I've had 2+ months of rehearsals. Like, I found it, you know? Mm-hmm. But I just, like, plug in real people, and someone on my team was like, please stop calling it a camera phone. It's just an iPhone. I was like, what? That's what it is.
But it's a camera phone.
A camera phone. Now everyone has a camera phone. They're like, it's just an iPhone, okay? But, you know, like, people now watch you through their phone, and it's just different. So I didn't know how I was going to feel, and I didn't know if I was going to be, like, in a panic or able to eat or whatever. So long story short, I figured out that I need to have stuff to do the day of show because I'm a mom of 4 and I never don't have nothing to do. So I was just, like, alone with all my thoughts and feelings, and it was, like, way too much to handle. But when it came time for, like, hair and makeup and I started to get ready, I just got this wave of, like, calm. And I was totally okay. And I heard, like, a lineup of fans waiting to get in outside. And I stuck my head out the window and I was like, hey. And no one heard me at first. And I was just, like, kind of watching and enjoying everyone. And, like, one girl looked up and she was like, Hilary. And then everyone looked up and they were my age and looked like me. And it was like, oh, I know what I'm doing here. And that felt really special. So I was fine. My nerves were fine. And then my sneaky husband had my kids' voices recorded. And so in my in-ears, right before, I have 10 seconds before I go on stage, I hear, Mommy, you're going to do such a good job on your show tonight, Mommy, and we miss you and we love you. We're proud of you, Mommy. And I was like,
are you going to make me cry?
No,
like,
I'm telling
at the
you.
beginning of our relationship here? Because that's incredible.
I was like,
yeah.
And it just, like, made everything go. And I was like, cool, this is the spot I exist in, I live in, and this is what's important, and I got to go out. And I just, like, it was so sweet. And then after the first song, like, having all of that aimed at me and realizing that I get to, like, experience that all over again also made me cry.
Well, it's like the two sides of who you are coming together, which is what this album is like. It's like Hilary Duff before you were a mom and had the responsibilities of all of that, all the things, all the wonderful things that come with having a family and being mature, being, and then this part of you, and it all comes together, and it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
What a gift.
That part of me that, like, wasn't formed yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that is now formed. You said in an interview that in this album, you feel like you were ready to open up again. Mm-hmm. And I think that for fans that have, loved you for so long and missed you for over that 10 years, I think hearing that you were closed off in some way, that you didn't want to be open, open, that's hard. That's hard. And I wonder what that closing was and then what that opening up has felt like for you again.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, there's gonna be tears.
Oh,
I'm gonna cry.
jeez.
Yeah, I can tell you're gonna make me cry. But sure, I would love to talk about it. And I think that subconsciously, I don't think it was a choice per se, like not just like stepping away from music. I think a lot of things happened in my life, that were like hard to navigate. And I didn't have the capacity to share, and I didn't know how I was going to like move through it. And there was like a lot of like learning and growing and becoming, and obviously had a whole bunch of kids in that time, and there was a lot of scary moments and then a lot of like super secure happy moments. And I was just living my life, and I think being with my husband, who I made my whole record with, something after having my fourth child just like felt desperate to like crack open and feel okay. I don't know if it's being 38, and just being like, I don't care as much what people might think, or I don't care if I don't get to go tour this in arena like I left off, or I don't care how many units I sell, or I don't care if people don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously I do.
Right.
But I get to go home to my family at night, and I think that was something I didn't have before.
Yeah.
Something within me just was like ready to share and connect again on a level with people of like, hey, so like 10 chapters have gone by, and 10 chapters have gone by for them too, and we had to have gone through a lot of similar things. And it just, I felt ready again, and I felt really itchy to like be on stage and to find myself again.
I want to play music from the album.
Okay.
And I want to play a song called Future Tripping. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Okay, Future Tripping.
I'm worried about shit that hasn't happened, entertaining every doubt. Oh, here I go again, future tripping out, spiraling around and around. Can you keep me on the ground?
Listening to this song, I think a lot of people can relate to it because it is about anxiety and intrusive thoughts and
Yes.
those feelings of just being on your back foot. And the lines where you say, I'm not dying, I'm not dying,
I'm dying.
but I'm dying, like, is like, sign me up. That is what we so often feel. Tell me about writing that one.
Well, I'm sure you feel that, how tough do we have to be to exist in this world?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Say it again. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And like people that don't feel strong are so strong because what has our world become where everything is, we're so reachable, everything's going so fast, like the pressures of watching everybody else's lives unfold and comparing yourself to that, being enough for your kids, being there for their every waking moment, entertaining them, taking care of them emotionally and physically, being a good partner and family member and friend and human of the world, and like all of these things all at once, and we're all showing it to the world on TikTok or Instagram. Like it's just all this stuff, and there's really great things like layered in there, but just like all of it's so anxiety producing. And it's funny because this song started with me and my night doula, and my child wasn't like gaining weight and blah blah blah, and she was like, babe, stop future tripping. And she told me this, and I had never heard this. Then I was like, because I was just like, well, what if?
Right.
She was like, you're future tripping and you need to calm down. And that line stuck with me. And I was like, that is such a good title. And so the song started off to be about like daily anxieties, like kind of more talking about like microplastics and other things that I also can like go down huge rabbit holes about.
Sure.
And I lived with that for a while. And some of the lyrics were really cute and quirky. And then I was like, this is just not... This is about a relationship, and this is about self-sabotaging something that's really good and easy and feels good, and you just not being able to deal with sitting in that and letting it feel good. You know, you've got to like spiral and overanalyze and pick it apart and not destroy it, but like find the person who can harness you in and is willing to take
sit
on that
with you.
Yeah.
Hold your hand through that.
Yes.
Yeah. You really do. Like, I think this might come back to that same person again, but you share so much of yourself and it feels like you're sharing a lot of your innerness, your insides with the world with this album. And I wonder about the conversations that you have with folks, because I know, first of all, you have not been doing nothing for the past 10 years.
Thank you for saying that.
You've been doing a lot of everything. You've been writing kids' books. You've been doing a lot, right? But in this moment, you're putting yourself out into the world in a very revealing way with these songs, I believe. So I wonder about the conversations that you had with people close to you about how much you wanted to share on this album. If you had those conversations, you know, even if they were conversations with yourself, how much of myself do I want to give to the world?
My heart's starting to beat a little fast.
That's okay.
I didn't think there was any way to make a record after 10 years if it wasn't going to be revealing myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it wasn't going to be all of the things that I've lived through and the you know, things that bounce around on the inside of my head or that hurt me or that I love and, you know, how I reminisce and all of that stuff all needed to be in there. Or else why?
Yeah.
Well, it's the purpose. Just to make a pop record.
Well, lots of people do.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of people do.
Yeah.
So it's a real choice, and
Right.
it's a very kind of gracious way of sharing yourself with the world.
It really felt like the only way for me. And then, you know, the flip side to that is like I feel it's a little unfair because people have known me for so long and they know my life and they know all the characters in it and they have followed along and been a part of it and analyze it and all of that stuff. So it's really hard to be so open and so forward facing. And I think that's probably why I didn't make a record for 10 years, you know, which we talked about a little bit earlier. It was like easier to kind of like privately live, you know, with everything and like shoot a TV show and like play in someone else's sandbox for a little while and still get to like be creative, but not be so open in my life experiences.
Was there fear in that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There still is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What scares you?
Less scares me now because I have my family,
Right.
you know, that I've
It's
created.
a safe place to land, right?
It's a really safe place to land. Yeah. What scares me? A lot of the things I talk about on the record.
Okay. Just listen to the record and then you'll find out.
Yeah, but I think people will relate to the themes of the record, you know. Abandonment is a huge
Right.
theme on the record. That scares me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a pop record. So as I talk about some of these heavier subjects, it's really balanced quite nicely with tracks that like you
You're
want to
nodding
scream,
your
sing
head.
in your car.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's it. There's a lot of head nodding. There's a lot of bopping while you're listening to
Yeah.
some very cool lyrics. I want to play another song.
Okay.
I'm holding on holes of an adult-sized medium. The 20-year-old me still in here. I'm waking up to a dream sequence. Sometimes I can't see me in it.
I love that song.
It is so sweet, and it's sweet, but there's like this dreamy, ethereal kind of gorgeousness, a lushness to it. But then the lyrics are super interesting as well, layered on top of that. So tell me about writing it.
God, well, I mean, I get to write songs with my husband, who is an absolute wordsmith.
Beautiful. What a team.
Dude, I feel so lucky because he can just harness a thought and tie a bow around it in a way that I could not. You know what I mean? He has a front row seat to my life and everything that I feel and go through and experience and whatever. So this song was, God, I love this one. You know, it is very dreamy, and it is just about reminiscing and your new self, your current self, trying to find pieces of yourself in your like past, not past life, but your younger, more carefree life. And it's like, hey, do we recognize ourselves anymore? Like, are we meeting in a dream? I think that everybody looks back at their past with such rose-colored glasses sometimes, and like, you know, it's a little bit about partying and having like a carefree, a more carefree existence. But like, if you actually zoom in on some of those nights where you didn't have children and you were maybe out too late, you know, and it seems like such a fun time, and you're like, we were wild. Wait, how did we make it out alive?
Right.
And then you zoom in and you're like, there were definitely like tears in a toilet that night, and so kissed so-and-so, or went home with so-and-so, and that part sucked, and that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm so much happier here and now, but it is a song about like reminiscing and trying to realize like how much life has gone by.
It feels like a conversation that you're having with your younger self.
Yeah.
Like
it's like that T-shirt that you've had for 20 years.
Yeah. And you just put it right back on for a bit, and you get to dance around with it.
Yeah.
And and then it's just like, okay, that's enough of that.
Yes.
That's plenty. I want to go back in time.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring up Lizzie McGuire.
Okay.
Okay. I've heard you talk about how back then there was really no separation between who you were as Hilary and Lizzie McGuire, and that sounds like a difficult thing. From the outside, I would think, okay, for the work, that's great when there's no separation, like, 'cause you can just jump into the character and you're there. But I would imagine that it's also quite challenging.
Well, I think when the show was airing on TV and I was actually filming the show, there wasn't a like Hilary and Lizzie stop and end. You know, it was very like, I wish I could tell you that I was such a brilliant actress that at 12 or 13 years old I came to work and like put the Lizzie hat on, but I definitely did not.
Right.
And I was just like a sassy, kind of quirky 13-year-old girl who was like also probably bra shopping and embarrassed by my parents.
Yeah, doing all the things that Lizzie. Yeah, sure.
So that was awesome. I mean, I loved going to work, and I got to have a whole closet full of clothes I got to kind of put on and play around in, and you know, it was a great like atmosphere. You know, and it didn't bother me that like I would be out somewhere with friends and someone would call me Lizzie McGuire.
Right.
That was like not about a big deal. Like I was. And then it wasn't until like a couple years later that started to like really get under my skin, because I had outgrown that person, and she's stuck forever at that age.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't think it's necessarily in my personality to like be super rebellious. So I wasn't going to go like wild. But I think that's where music came into play for me. And also I loved Britney Spears. So I was like, I'm going to be a pop star.
I want to do that.
Yeah. So I think that was my way of trying to find my identity outside of Lizzie McGuire, and worked pretty well, you know. But then, you know, there's still like, then I move into my late 20s and I'm a mother, and, you know, and I'm still Lizzie McGuire. And it's okay. Like, I'm okay now. But I would say for a good 10 years, it was really hard to not eye roll secretly every time I would go somewhere, and, you know, and by the way, my life, it's so hard to like complain, but it just would just give a little knot in my stomach. Like, am I ever going to do anything that's going to impact people the same? Like, is it me or was it her? Do they love her? Do they love me? Which, you know, it was all like very hard to like comb through.
And then that's when the falling starts. Like, that's when things kind of go off the rails. you managed to get through that
Yeah.
without falling off the rails, but it's that identity piece that I think gets lost
Yeah.
for people, and they're just like, who am I? Like, what am I? Like,
And what do people want me to be?
and what do people want me to be? And there's a million people wanting me to be something else.
Yeah.
But somehow you kept the train on the track, because there's a lot of people that are your contemporaries that were not able to keep the train on the track.
There's a little something in the title of this record that's a nod to answering that question. And then, I will say that, like, well, one, it's taken me 38 years to give myself some credit and be like, hey, babe, you are who you are. Give yourself some credit. You could have made all different kinds of choices, I think also, like, my mom I didn't get treated special because I was Lizzie McGuire. The rules were the rules. You know what I mean? I didn't support my family in the beginning. Of course, once I started making money, my mom was like, hey, we should buy a house, a nicer house. It's a good investment. Your name's going to be on it. And I'm like, yes, of course. You know what I mean? So those things happen. But I think those were some things that, like, I didn't feel the pressure, like, if I don't get this job, we're not going to get this or whatever. Right. And I think that was definitely a part of it. Past that, I don't know. I think I always have had a very good intuition about who I surround myself with. Mm-hmm. And I was raised to have integrity. We're from Texas. We're kind of like,
oh, yeah.
Southern people a little bit.
Yep. Grounded. You said that you would never do Lizzie McGuire stuff.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. And that you're ready to move on from that character, be your own person.
In 2016, you said.
Let me just look up, the publication. But I know that you're now performing your big Lizzie McGuire movie tune, What Dreams Are Made Of, on tour. What is your relationship to that character and that music now?
Oh, gosh. I think that, well, one, it was so much fun to sing the other night.
Was it?
Yeah.
You really enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
Yeah.
It's so weird to be a part of something that has such big fandom and, like, you're just you. And you're like, I don't totally join in because I don't know, I was doing a job, you know what I mean?
Right.
But then obviously I understand the impact and the reach and the feelings and all of that stuff. And I think I just, like, finally get it. Mm-hmm. And I get to, like, make it my own. And so it's a little bit of a, like, victory, It's like a reclaiming, and it's like I get to be a part of the fun now too, and not on the outside of it. Remember when I mentioned about, like, the camera phones?
Yes, camera phones. They're all out there.
They're all out there.
Yeah,
and I was like, when the show was, like, when I was going to change, I was like, it's been 5 minutes. The show's over. I can't believe it. What happened? I blacked out. Like, I was, like, there, and I remember, like, seeing people, and they were singing with me, and it was, like, all great. But it was, like, went by so fast. And so it was amazing. Yeah. The next day to see my feed, and it was just me in the blue outfit. Every single tick, 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 like every single one. And I was just like, oh my God, what is happening? But I was like, oh, I look cute. Oh, I did good. Oh, I hit my, like, it was amazing. And, but, I rehearsed for this. So, like, it wasn't like that particular song. Like,
it was all of it.
Yeah, it was kind of all of it. Yeah. But I'm telling you, I love getting to perform that song now. And I'm so sad I never did before. I think before I was like, that's hers and this is mine. And
oh, that's interesting.
I don't even know. I mean, I think you can, I don't know the laws of it. I think you can perform whatever song live you want. But for some reason, it was always left off of my set list. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that was like me as like an angsty teenager being like, I'm not doing that or what. But I'm very happy to do it now.
That's because you're mature now.
That's right.
You're mature. We've done so much reflecting today. Like, we've really talked about your past and we've really dug into it. And thank you for being so open about all of it. Yeah. But I want to end this about, because it is so much of you, I feel like the album feels so much like you speaking to a younger self, or at least acknowledging that younger self that you were. I wonder if you have some straight up advice for that younger you, if you could have just said, look, we're going to make it to 38 and we're going to have a great life with a great husband. Is there something that you would say to your younger self?
Gosh, I feel like I would want to like write her a whole note, and I probably have before in therapy.
Yeah.
I would be like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, you're going to be great, and you're going to be fine, and you're going to do amazing things, and you don't need to like harp on little things that seem really big to you. Like, in the grand scheme, they're just going to like work themselves out.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that goes to being so, public facing your whole life. Like, your whole life is out there for people to like comment on. And it's your reality. So it's just not like a quick conversation someone's like having about you. It's like your life or whatever. I would just be like, you're going to go on this like crazy ride, and just try to remember. Like, I forget so much stuff. People talk to me and they want to recall this particular moment, and I'm like, try to recall something 20 years ago that happened to you. I truly don't remember so much of it.
That's right. All the details
Yeah,
get muddy.
Really muddy. And then like I was doing amazing things, like, but then I was doing like lots of really cool things, and so those kind of bled together. And I think I would just be like, hey, give yourself some credit. You're the one like showing up, doing the work, and like enjoy it.
100%.
Yeah.
What about your future self? Can you think to what future
Yeah.
Hilary? What would you say to her?
I feel so much more in my body now. I feel like she's just going to get better and better.
Oh, yes. Say it.
Yeah.
Louder for the people in the back. Yeah.
I think also that like something that my husband and I know we have a ridiculous amount of children, but we always think about like the Thanksgiving table 10, 15 years down the line. Yeah. So I would just feel like, oh my gosh, I think about her in the kitchen still, making sure that the bird is all the way cooked through, and and like spouses and boyfriends and girlfriends and friends, and just like that table being really full, and that being like the real important stuff.
For real.
Yeah.
You are setting the table for it right now with what you're doing. Hilary, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
and
you.
for being so open and
I could
honest.
stay for like 2 more hours.
Sure, let's do it. Let's just do a show ourselves. Let's just do the Hilary and GB show. Let's do it. I appreciate you and the work from past, present, and of course, future, the brightest to you.
Thank you.